Welcome one, welcome all to the Paladins Console League. I am your host, Fawn or Stefan, whatever you guys want to call me. That's not blatantly insulting, but I appreciate you guys being able to tune in this wonderful Monday morning. It's been a while. Haven't really seen you guys here in the Console League, but I'm not here alone. I'm here with my man, Kresnik. Hello.
Yeah. Hey, what's up? It's good to be back.
Yeah,
I mean,
is.
I mean, 2 weeks off in a row for the console league. Well, 1 week off for them, 1 week off for us for Labor Day, I believe, at the time. But nice to be back. Should be good getting back to it. I definitely want to see how these teams have been doing since we missed them last week. Want to see if there's any evolutions, whether it be meta-wise, roster-wise, gameplay-wise, and hopefully today's the chance to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. Our first match being Flashpoint versus Ehrenmanner in this case. Now, once again, we haven't had the chance to actually go over Console League or anything like that because last week we were on break, week before that we were on break, weren't broadcasted, but these games were showed and played. However, last week's schedule for right now, see what it is that these teams have played off, how they played off against each other, and see how these guys are stacked up. Flashpoint 3-0, Ehrenmanner 3-0, Cyclone, Vroom, heating, not heating up, Onslaught, Hydra, so on and so forth.
Not too many surprises, I think, across the board. The two things that stand out to me from rewatching them was that Onslaught had a 16-minute game.
Right, yeah.
And that's not on one map. That's all three. Onslaught would be 16 minutes of gameplay to 3-0 heating up, and that DC Eternity Eaststorm game was very close. That went down to the absolute wire, 3-3 on Serpent Beach. DC Eternity barely pulling it out in the end, but all in all, not too many surprises, but hopefully we can get surprised a little bit this week.
Yeah, I mean, once again, like my man Kresnik just led off with, we will be looking at this week's schedule, see how these guys are dicing up against each other, putting up their dukes. Flashpoint versus Ehrenmanner, of course, will be the game we're about to get into. Bust Down versus Vroom, Onslaught versus Hydra, Classified versus Eaststorm in this case. These are the four matches, that we will be going over today on broadcast, showing you guys just a little bit of how things were going throughout constant or at least multiple consoles in this case.
Lots of close games too.
Yeah.
I know we have, I think, the 1-2 matchup in 2 different regions, and then we have a 3-2 matchup and a 2-3 matchup in a row. So should be a lot of contention, I think. I know some people definitely want to get back at fighting against the first seed in various different regions, and PS4 is one of those regions that we're going to be having the 1-2 matchup in.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we can take a look at the EU PS4 standings as well to see how these guys are all stacking up against each other. Flashpoint already at the top, no losses. The men are dominant. Ehrenmanner in this case 4-1. Ariel Arise 1-4. Stush Gaming, no wins under the belt. Solid 0-5. Unfortunate for them, but of course, you still got plenty of time to be able to try and make this up before you find yourself at Worlds.
Yeah, I mean, 2 maps for them at least, so not a complete wash, but they definitely did figure something out. Ehrenmanner Flashpoint, though, 1-2, and normally in some other regions this could be, we might be super excited for this, but last time they matched up was a 3-0 in Flashpoint's favor. We'll have to see what Ehrenmanner's figured out. Flashpoint obviously made it to LAN last time, made it to the MSI, so they're a team that has plenty of experience playing together, understand console meta really well. We'll have to see how Ehrenmanner can stack up to them.
Right, exactly. It's really going to be a match of adaptation at this point. See if they can take what it is that they've learned last time, try and stack up against Flashpoint this time, see if they can potentially take a win off of them in this case. And the map bans right now, we're going to take a look at those real quick, see what we have in store for us. Frog Isle, Bazaar, both of these maps being gone, off the board. Get them out of my game. Don't want them in there. Ice Mines and Brush. I mean, yeah. I mean,
we can agree to disagree.
Ice Mines and Bright Marsh gone as well in this case. So 4 maps all off the board. Both of these teams have decided to ban 2 of their own choice, of their own choosing in this case. And I mean, you already saw it right there. Just mentioned it in that case. And I'm curious to see how Ehrenmanner is going to stack up because you said it before that really Flashpoint was a 3-0 last time they played. Now that they're sitting at 4-1, so we're really going to see how they're going to try to adapt.
Yeah, it's definitely the closest matchup for them. I mean, there was a DQ in game 1. We're not sure exactly why. So Ehrenmanner do have a map already better than last time, even if it was kind of out of their hands. But we'll have to see what map we're going to for game 2. Looks like Jaguar Falls.
Okay.
Interesting. It's pretty standard. Well, I say interesting, but it's interesting that we're going on the standard for game 2 instead of game 1, honestly. I mean, Jaguar Falls, pretty much the very basic map, very flat, a lot of things you can play. I mean, we've seen a little bit of everything across Jaguar Falls. We've seen Moji, we've seen plenty of triple tank.
Yes, we have.
Lots of very interesting things. So we'll have to see what they do, and we'll start with a pretty standard console first ban in Vivian.
Of course, and the standard second console ban in this case being Talus. Both of these characters are off the board. Makoa being picked off as well, which once again, no matter whether you're on console, whether you're on PS4, Xbox, PC, everyone has one thing in common. they don't like Makoa. They don't want to see him. Don't really want to deal with them. Tyra gone off the board as well. So those are the 4 bans that we're looking at right now.
Yeah, I mean, at this level of skill, it makes sense to be getting rid of Makoa.
Of course.
I mean, just when you have that level of coordination, any hook should result in a pick, in a kill. So just getting that off the board, getting rid of that ability to equalize a fight immediately, really important. It looks like Ehrenmanner answer with an Atlas first pick after the Tyra Talus ban. So good for that. But Victor Genos going to Flashpoint is scary. That is a scary start to a console draft for sure.
I agree with that. I mean, we already see the president that console has with head scan. They all love picking these characters. That's why you see the Tyra, the Vivian ban, and for a buff to be going on a Victor like that, 15% damage buff in this case is going to be pretty pivotal for somebody that mostly left clicks, or in this case, right triggers.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Oh yeah. I thought you were gonna say right click, and I'm like,
no.
I was reaching as hard as I could for you, but no, you're right. Right trigger. In that sense, Barrett Grover response by Ehrenmanner. So they're starting with tank healer priority. Grover, really good healer on this map, able to heal through all those walls, sustain both sides if they choose to kind of have that spread gameplay, or he can also play into the death ball strategy too. So a lot of options, I think, for the Grover pick here. Pretty smart by them as it responds to Genos.
I agree, and flashpoints respond. We do have the Khan being picked up here. Of course, Khan being a character it is that you quite typically see, whether, once again, you're on PC or you're on console. His presence is just too strong in this case, and once again, we see the Leon being picked up as well. Hit scan presences on console are extremely powerful, which is why you see them prioritized more so than you would on PC.
Form up and follow me in.
It's going to come down to the tanks that I'm on, because I think Flashpoint got a fantastic DPS draft. Victor Leon with Genos is scary.
Yeah.
And we talked about how Khan is kind of like thick Vic, and they have him too, so triple hit scan pressure from Flashpoint. Triple tank is a great way to respond to that, I feel. Just kind of bullying through, but if Flashpoint's positioned well enough and can rotate around them, kind of keep that distance, it might be tough for them to get in. Ash is a great supplement to that for Ehrenmanner, though.
Right, I do agree with that. I mean, like being able to have this Atlas on Jaguar Falls in this case, being able to block what is it he needs to in these chokes, which is most of Jaguar Falls, where you have these smaller areas, the shielding as well, and Nara being the last pick. However, both teams are locked in. Ehrenmanner already have a first point against Flashpoint. We're going to throw it right down to the casters, take us into game 2.
Welcome in, everyone. Game 2 about to kick off here between Flashpoint and Ehrenmanner. I guess technically game 1 since they didn't play number 1. Not often Flashpoint drops maps. I still count it as it dropped a map this time around. Dolson, pretty hair on cast number 1 of the day for you. Triple tank coming out for Ehrenmanner. This is a traditionally very one-sided matchup. You expect Flashpoint to dominate through and through here. They got a great hit scan draft for themselves, though. Victor, Leon, Khan, especially with Prosper, Logic, and Skeppy. It's a very potent offensive lineup they have over there.
They've just a couple of ways, very conditional, has to line up ways to actually punish what appears to be a very heavy stacking triple frontliner combination. You've got your presence, can you pierce, your grenade obviously can splash, as well as the barrage. I'm not going to say if they can hit a good one, it's more of like when they can hit a good one. Good Lad looks to be piloting the Victor here today. Will not be Prosper Logic. Nice little setback, going to bring only Op back into harm's way. With a 1-game lead, Ehrenmanner look to take this first point.
Yeah, King Nick starting things off for Ehrenmanner here. They're fighting from the point with about 45%. Good Lad looking to find some shots here. He's fortunately under a little bit too much offensive pressure. One more shot from Faded will do it. He finds it. Good Lad back to base. It's going to be a last-ditch effort here from Op trying to get a touch. It's going to happen, but he has no health left. Under way too much duration. Ehrenmanner, they strike first.
Wow. This is a very convincing Ehrenmanner first objective, and with this composition, they'll be pretty much primed and ready to close this game 4-0. If they can get this rolling and get this offense figured out, I mean, clearly they have the point fight figured out. Flashpoint are going to, reshape this team fight a little bit once they get ultimates online. Overpower always has a very resounding impact on what you need to be able to do, because it takes a lot of the, difficulty of executing off of you. You just hit that ultimate and you get your free pick and you can kind of move on that. 2 minutes on the clock, though, for Ehrenmanner to find their way home with this payload. And as soon as they kind of enter open territory, you see this Leon Victor start to come online a little bit more.
Flashpoint finally with something to hang their hat on here, forcing Ehrenmanner all the way back. Of course, Ehrenmanner, I mean, a bit of a tumultuous split number 1. Definitely a team that's gotten their feet under them a little bit more here in the second split, only dropping 1 set so far, 2 Flashpoint notably. But, you know, definitely a new look at this team, one that I'll feel confident in here. Ernest in a good spot, might use assert dominance to try to force this one through. Good commander's grab, is going to counter out the shoulder bash there, forces him back. Through time and space, plugs through, no kills yet. To take a little bit of damage. Assert dominance doesn't happen to catch that small ledge over there. Skeppy and Goodlad combined for a couple of kills here, and Ehrenmanner are getting swept one more time. Still a minute left though, plenty of time to give this push another go.
Nice setback there, just to keep himself safe a little bit longer. But yeah, man, once these 3 tanks push out into the open, obviously their killing power drops a little bit the further away they have to fight. Everybody from Flashpoint is a little bit pushed up right now. They could look to capitalize off of that. Assert dominance is still ready to go. Couldn't get it off last time. Tanks are a little bit separated from the back line here, and that's the green light.
He's looking for Goodlad, finds it, but Overpower, excuse me, finds him right out of the assert dominance. Ernest right off the map. A nice double kill for Legacy here. King Nick on the opposite side finds a kill onto Goodlad, but the front lines of Flashpoint are really doing it here. That's 3 in this one. Legacy trades out his life. Flashpoint have stalled things out just for a moment. Skeppy's still alive as well. No progress made for Ehrenmanner.
Only 20 seconds on the clock. Ash now just re-arriving to this fight. It's going to be a long charge back to full for the assert dominance. Having that available in the next round is not likely. Finally a pick that means something for Ehrenmanner. They'll have one haphazard crack at getting this conversion.
Legacy, half health here. Shield basically being used on cooldown. Nice setback. Might set him up on a silver platter. King Nick sets up the kill for himself there. Quick faded, looking for a couple more shots. Only needs one more on the Goodlad, and he finds it. Well played there. Rounding this final corner now. Only op is back. Dome Shield, though, drops down, zoning out. Inara under way too much presence. Nobody's left around, and 2-0. No Ehrenmanner.
And Genesis just not have the throughput to keep that poor front line on their toes. Legacy gets a good effort here at obviously overpowering out of the assert dominance and then walking forward. We talked about Thick Vic, and there he is. Luminary gets him 15% more bonus damage, and he can just kind of walk people down. Storm of Bullets is already a DPS increase talent for Khan. Those two combined to make for a very formidable front line, and though he's still sitting just +1 at the moment, it's all about King Nick at 5-1 on the Atlas. That one just it put together, and that just goes to show you, man, this gets rolling, this triple tank composition is going to be very difficult to stop for Flashpoint. They need to use their range advantage and some of their control options to make sure that this doesn't bulldoze over the top of them.
Flashpoint has some ultimates to do just that. Getting poked out here. Legacy has not been able to get comfortable on this left-hand side for Flashpoint yet. Ehrenmanner have done a good enough job of poking out, fighting around this Grover, making sure they stay one and together. Storm Avatar finds the first kill here. No more healing left for Ehrenmanner. Skeppy takes advantage of that, finds the kill. Still on the point though, Ehrenmanner. Flashpoint are having to fight into this triple tank composition right now, and it's not working out for him. A good second chance for King Nick. Gets him nice and healthy here. Flashpoint, that advantage immediately stalled out. Still on the point. Our Ehrenmanner here, a couple good exiles give them a nice advantage in this engagement.
Grover's almost back. Whirlwind was just popped though, so running out of ultimates, running out of time. Dome Shield at 44% is the next closest relevant ultimate. And this one, as Skeppy slides to the back line, finds one, but it's quickly traded out by Atlas.
Yeah, Nara not able to stay alive here, and Ehrenmanner, they were on the point that entire time. Flashpoint had some good-looking ultimates, but it was not to be there. Ehrenmanner just made it way too hard to fight back to that mid.
One more conversion, and with that early game DQ, this is a 2-0 lead for Ehrenmanner. A potential one game to close it all out here over Flashpoint. Nice wall there just to provide some peel. Shoulder bash cannot squeak through. I don't know, man. I think if Ehrenmanner, you know, they take this next minute and 30 seconds to get these ultimates charged up, have one halfway decent coordinated strike with all 5 of them, given how close the payload already is, they have a damn good chance of taking this game.
I mean, the question becomes, I mean, how much is missing Prosper Logic affecting this Flashpoint team right now? I mean, it's a totally different look. Skeppy, you know, one of the best players in the console league, is kind of hung his hat on this one and somewhat kept Flashpoint in it. 4 streaked out members for Ehrenmanner. The triple tanks, Grover popping the Whirlwind now. Goodlad pulls one back. He's certainly
that's a good grab.
a
for
great
sure.
player as well. A double kill for Good Lad. Might just save this point here for Flashpoint as Skeppy continues his offensive push, finds one more kill, and Ehrenmanner goes searching for one more push.
Yeah, I actually want to kind of see the items here. It was probably Victor, but somebody with a decent level cauterize, keeping that healing to a minimum. They're allowing the kill on the King Nick. If that kill doesn't happen, then this game is probably over, to be honest with you. They probably get that Atlas back to full HP. One more kill probably would have started the snowball. Kind of like you saw last round. It didn't take a lot for Flashpoint to really get this one rolling and, you know, open the door.
Right.
There's the assert dominance in the backline. Doesn't stun anyone out. In fact, it's countered just as it was in round 1.
King Nick, though, finds the kill onto Skeppy as well. Ernest, it's a 1-for-1 trade. As Ehrenmanner look to keep this one moving forward. Enlightenment through time and space. Ready for Flashpoint. Some Exiles, a good Dome Shield as well. Could turn this one in Ehrenmanner's favor. Looking for the first kill. Assert Dominance was used on the backside. Doesn't look like any kills came of it, though. Legacy just stays a little bit too long. Not enough healing, keeping him alive. Now they could push their aggression here. Good Lad's going to try to push them back with a good barrage, but the Exile cancels it right on out. Now he has Ernest just waiting. One more shot around the corner will seal it up. Good Lad finds the kill, though. 1 second left. This is going to go in overtime, but Flashpoint have to throw bodies onto the point through time and space. Finds nothing. Dome Shield gets a good zone, and it looks like Ehrenmanner might just be able to seal it up.
Good Lad's so low. Bring him down. His shoulder bash is going to run straight into Con Shield, but that still does damage through shields. A knockback runs into a CC immune Nora, but one by one, they all fall down. Flashpoint have buckled in the first game that they actually played, second game of the series, putting Ehrenmanner in striking distance of this set.
I mean, this is a different look. I mean, I know that, you know, between Op and Good Lad specifically, I mean, it's that Prosper Logic question now that you have to look at. I mean, is he that impactful that, I mean, this is a team that, you know, maybe you lose a 4-3 to Stush or something once or twice in the last split, and that's it. 4-0 is not something we traditionally see out of this team.
No, man, but that speaks to Ehrenmanner a little bit. It's the composition they drafted. It's really kind of what this should have been doing. When you look at the way they were able to capture the point in round 2, they weren't winning that fight. They just muscled their way to that second payload. And that's really nice. That's really good to see, man, because that takes a lot of guts. It takes some experience, and it takes, you know, just a little bit of risk, saying, you know, we got this. If we can hard commit here, we're going to lose a couple people along the way, but we can get to the end of that tunnel if we all stand fast here and now.
That's true. I mean, Good Lad is an excellent player. I mean, 6'4", 6'3" for Skeppy. You have to look at King Nick, 14-2-2 on the Atlas. I mean, the triple tank composition really forged into victory. I mean, when you have, I mean, the argument is that you're trading out a bit of that pure offensive presence for a little bit of extra off-tank aggression, and you're able to kind of meld those two together like King Nick did. 70k damage, 7.5 KDA. Makes it so much easier to win.
Great control, great damage options, great, you know, hard CC as well in Exile. Your setbacks, all that stuff. If you can connect on it, man, it's just so effective. King Nick does a great job displaying the power of Atlas, a character that's been super, super powerful on PC, and I think he needs to be in that conversation now as Band Away are picked in the top 3 for console as well.
I mean, and that's kind of been the interesting thing looking at console meta is because of some of those weird hybrid bans, you sometimes see a Makoa through in a lot of these sets. Atlas comes out as well. Now King Nick with the 14-2-2 performance. You have to maybe reconsider the way picks and bans are going. But after an early DQ and then a 4-0 on Jag Falls, Flashpoint, one map away from a 3-0, not something we're used to seeing out of them. Will it happen? Find out right after this.
Respawn, the official gaming chair of the Paladins Console League.
Welcome back to the PCL, guys, and it's very, very nice of you all to be joining us this morning, of course. We already saw Ehrenmanner pretty much clean slate, wipe the floor with Flashpoint at this point, 4-0 on Jaguar Falls. They did really well, and it was faster than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah, really fast. That triple tank really did work on Jaguar Falls. Not too surprising. I mean, a lot of distance crossed by that Ash to make room. I mean, Ernest didn't have the best stats at the end of the game. I mean, that honor goes to King Nick with that 14-2, but made a lot of room. Covered all that distance to get onto those hit scans, and Flashpoint just didn't have an answer.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really get the chance to try and go off onto the mark I was wanting to hit with Atlas. The fact that literally what was happening, that I was trying to say was happening, where he would put dividers up in places where most of the fights were happening. They had to adjust to that, and if they were already invested, you can't really get out of that situation like that. You pretty much just have to grit your teeth and bear it, or you just have to back off.
That's just the power of Stasis Field.
Right, exactly.
You have to commit through it. There's no answer. There's no breaking it, no Wrecker 3 to make any difference versus it. So that's why Atlas gets banned, and I would not be surprised to see Flashpoint adapt with that as their answer this game.
Right, neither would I. Luckily for us, we're in Game 3, so we'll get to see the next map on the board up here, Splitstone Quarry, a map, once again, we don't typically see this map as often on PC, but, I mean, we saw it surprisingly a lot over last week, really, I should say, in the Premier League.
I think it's definitely shifting into more of that standard space, and I can see why. It is one of those maps that goes to that 4-3 a lot of the time because of that strong defensive position.
Right.
But it can go the other way. It rewards verticality because it lets you flank, so a lot of flexibility, I'd say, in this map. So again, we'll see how they adapt. And Ehrenmanner actually banning Atlas this time. They know how powerful it is, so they want to get rid of that. They don't want to have to deal with that whatsoever, especially after King Nick's performance.
Right, yeah, I agree with that as well. Tyra off the board, Atlas off the board. Of course, they don't want to be able to deal with that situation once again. I mean, get him out of here. Literally, there's a reason why he's banned, too. We don't want to see him. We don't want to see Makoa. Torvald, not as prominent as much anymore, but here's the thing. I'm glad you mentioned that.
I'm just saying it because of the no ban. I was just guessing that.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is that I'm glad that you said that because Vivian's not on the board to be banned. They got rid of Tyra, they got rid of Victor. Talus, Atlas are gone. And I feel like they did that because they wanted to deny them at least one hit scan presence.
Yeah, the double ban from Flashpoint on that is definitely just to get themselves the one. Right. I get why Ehrenmanner banned. I mean, I get the concept why they banned Talus. Right, I'm not particularly a fan of the Talus ban in general, but it is going to be pretty strong in the quarry. The ability to overcharge and push with your tank across to make a lot of room. Right. It makes sense why they would choose that over the Vivian because you can ignore the Vivian or you can dive onto her, but the Talus always has that get out of jail free card.
Right, exactly. I mean, in response, Ehrenmanner has both locked Genos and Barrick in this case. The Khan on Flashpoint side has been picked up. Now, once again, I've said it once, said it a million times. Khan is a very, very good presence. You definitely want to deal with him. And Willow is also a very, very interesting pick because of the fact that we're seeing a rise in her and have throughout multiple weeks, whether it be on console, whether it be on PC, because she's just that darn good right now.
Yeah, and she's great on this map too. I mean, she'll just take that high ground presence instead of the Vivian. You'll put your Vivian in quarry, break any shields they try to pressure with, and then you put your Willow up top spamming down. She can shoot around the corners, pierce a lot of angles. So good pick so far by Flashpoint. I do like their draft. Barrick Ash is a pretty solid tank combination too for this map.
I agree.
Barrick excellent at sitting on the point, and he can also poke on the high ground with Tinkerin too.
Right.
Not something that most tanks can do. Ash is going to be great at retaking that quarry space because you can if you can cross the distance fast enough into the Vivian, she's going to be much less effective.
Right, exactly. I mean, of course, when you have the Lian, coupled with that, you have a situation where you have that hit scan presence. It's not as often as you would see it if Victor or Tyra are open, but Leon is there. You have the presence, and you also can deal with both Willow and Vivian. Considering the fact that it's a little bit on controller, it'll be a lot harder for them to move. But here's what's interesting to me is if they actually pick this, because we normally never see Eevee being locked in on console.
This is a good map. We've seen Eevee locked in on this map in particular on console, I think just because of how powerful she is.
Right.
The ability to go from lava to the high ground, immediately blink back with these players that are good enough. So I think the pick is bold, but it has a chance to be very good if they execute it well.
Yeah, bold and cold is how I would describe Eevee in this case. However, we're going to throw it right down to the casters to get us into Game 3.
Bold and cold. Couldn't have said it any better myself, Mr. Fawn, as we dive down into Game 3 Splitstone Quarry. So we got on tab for us today. 2-0 for Ehrenmanner, Nick. I mean, this is a new look. This is a specifically in that you're not used to seeing Flashpoint on the back end of a 2-0. You know, some substitutions, things like that going in on the back side here, but a big win for Ehrenmanner nonetheless.
With a name like Quick's Faded, you have to imagine he's ready for Eevee, man.
You would hope.
I would hope so.
You don't have that name unless you're ready to
Quick
kind of
capital
pop up.
Z underscore faded. Dude, you better be a god tier EV player.
I mean, you got the Eevee fan himself calling your game, so.
He's going the right way so far.
All right.
Snappy sensitivity, boys. We're working with something here.
All right. Nick gives a seal of approval for Wormhole 1. There you go, getting some shots in as well. Already forcing back the
He's
Willow.
zooming.
We were nervous. I mean, Willow, Con, Vivian. That's a hell of a first 3 picks. The early engagements, though. I put
So
Quick's
close.
faded the early top.
on,
One more
hit the
shot
shot.
would have sealed up the Inara this time around. Op forced back behind his wall. Pretty even on the point here. Blinks in. Unable to soar his way out of that one, but he's able to wormhole his way out of that one. So low down there on the fidget spinner side. If somebody wants to push this, they might find themselves the first blood in this game. It's going to be a war of attrition here. Forced off to the side.
There you go.
Skeppy has not been able to get comfortable on this Willow
There
just
it
yet.
is.
There's the first blood. Quick's faded. Blinks in. Finds the kill. Skeppy back to base. Flashpoint all corralled. Back in this fidget spinner side.
A lot of damage reduction, a lot of healing going out in here. Ehrenmanner have a small lead on the objective as ultimates are starting to be available. Whirlwind, the first of them, of course. Enlightenment and Ice Storm, all not far off the mark. This team fight is about to pop.
Look for the Enlightenment. Look for the through time and space. One pick on either side might do it. King Nick finds the first kill, and it's not the Enlightenment, but through time and space does find the kill. That's a good Ice Storm as well from Faded. Drops it down. Flashpoint. All but decimated at this point as Skeppy tries to save his life. One more shot from Quick's Faded will do it. Not going to find it, but Ehrenmanner do have point number 1 on the board, and Flashpoint now 3 points away from going out 0-3.
And there's the assert dominance as well, just to keep this rolling. I don't mind this one bit because this corner can be a real pain in the butt to break. So if you can get it broken right away, nice shot from Quick's Faded up over the top. He just comes soaring in. This is good stuff just to keep the momentum rolling for Ehrenmanner.
Skeppy's going to use the Fae Flight and try to stop that momentum.
Wow. That's a win.
Yeah, doesn't find a kill. Yeah, the fact that you're able to get out and then blink in and find another kill on the good lad.
That's a big win.
That's a huge win for Ehrenmanner as they continue this rolling forward. And this is where you want your Vivian to be able to sit back and free fire. You get free high ground. You're sitting back in base. You would hope that that's where Vivian's really able to drag those feet, but it's not going to happen just yet. Good lad has respawned and retaken some of that high ground here as Flashpoint forced back Ehrenmanner. Very low now as the barrack onto the low ground. Things stalling out though, minute and a half left, but some good signs from Ehrenmanner.
I call that a win for the time being though. Flashpoint need to figure out what's happening here. Ehrenmanner are all going to be headed back to base, spending credits, things like that. Faded does manage to get a couple of good shots out. I-Tech from the back line cleans yet another one up.
For maybe another Ice Storm here. Some good zoned out members. They might just want to delay until the Whirlwind is down, but not going to happen. Skeppy finds the shots on the Quick's Faded. Storm Avatar so low here.
Where are you going?
Caught up onto the roof, slides down. I-Tech finds the last shot. Storm Avatar back to base. Skeppy, though, his second kill in this fight is good for a trade out. Ernest in this side room over here gets the kill onto Legacy as well. It's a 3-man defense for the time being from Flashpoint. Payload starting to inch ever closer. Enlightenment could be a difference maker. Dome Shield has been a difference maker. They're looking to make this one 2-0.
A couple big ultimates still online. That Enlightenment does grab the kill right on back. To 50%, I think, immediately killed by Good Lad, so the impact no longer will be felt soaring out. Good shots here from Eevee, but it's too little too late.
Good Lad, this is, as I said, I mean, this is where that Vivian really wants to feel that impact. You're able to kind of hang back, find that offensive presence, maybe get some damage and some kills. 5 seconds left. Not quite in range to get a touch. They might force somebody in. They are going to get the touch with the Eevee. Bowling ball, or the rocket boots, I should say, for I-Tech are going to get him in there relatively safely. There is one kill on the board. Skeppy respawning 5 more seconds. If they're able to really stagger this one out, it becomes so much more difficult for Flashpoint to defend.
Ernest is definitely all the way in. Good Lad goes down. Grover's up, but is he safe? The answer is no. Another kill found. Quick's Faded. Skeppy answers back. Just a singular hope in the is not going to be enough, I don't think, man. Nice enlightenment just to make sure we lock this one down as the payload continues to march forward and in.
Wow, the respawn's just not in time there from Flashpoint. They got way too staggered out towards the end. The delaying of that fight from Ehrenmanner just to withstand a lot of those ultimates. Trade back some kills, get the payload moving towards the end there. Quick's faded. 4-1-6 on the Eevee, 7-2-5 for King Nick. 2 out of 2 games, King Nick has been top KDA on his team, so definitely one to keep your eyes on for maybe these last couple of points.
Not a bad performance at all. 4-1-6, third in damage, not too far off the mark, just about 10,000 damage under a character that is not only stronger on console, but unequivocally a higher poke damage, going to have higher damage than you type of character anyway. So keeping pace, I think, quite nicely here. 600 credits in hand, saving up for that COT 3. A couple of big, powerful ultimates online as well. They didn't really need a whole lot from the front line to get that one started.
It's really Ice Storm as well. Skeppy on the last mid was not able to really find much comfort, find much aggression in on this one. More the same here as Quick faded.
It's okay, just punish.
Drops down the Ice Storm, assert dominance, finds a couple whirlwinds, gonna keep the Grover up for the moment. Through time and space, rips through, finds one. Skeppy just cannot get away from too much damage on the opposite side. Ehrenmanner looking good on this next fight, being pinched from every single direction here. His Flashpoint may be able to trade one out here. It's good lad.
Oh, he lived.
Too much damage, too much mobility
No,
from the
no,
Eevee.
no.
Keeps him alive. King Nick finds the kill.
Wow.
Quick's faded. Makes short work of the Flashpoint lineup.
Oh, man, you can't. I was just about to talk about, he's doing the right thing here, just, milking out the ice block. Definitely going to die here afterwards anyway. It's a decent attempt, and then he lives, man. He lives, stays alive, get those kills, and Ehrenmanner, they're about to grab this payload, dude. This is a conversion away from just sweeping Flashpoint.
It's not a phrase I expected to say on this fine Monday morning. But certainly a spicy way to start off the console league, were this one to end up happening that way. Quick's faded, drops Storm Avatar, op as well. That's a clean 1-2-3 for Ehrenmanner. Will be point number 3 here for them. Triple kill for iTech just to seal that one up. Payload now begins its march towards the Flashpoint base. Ehrenmanner looking to make it a clean, not only 3-0, but technically 4-0, 4-0, 4-0 map-wise for them. That'd be a big win.
Throws at the wall, just trying to stay safe. Vivian's able to track down Eevee out of the sky. Remember, this is the tough corner. So far, Flashpoint doing a much better job of slowing this one down. Frontline ultimates getting charged and recharged very quickly. Both used as well as almost recharged for Ehrenmanner after that first fight, man. So they are rocking and rolling, getting a lot of effective uptime on their frontliners. That's what that means. They're not very fast to charge. You don't do a lot of damage, so you don't charge it very quickly. You got to stay involved if you want a lot of ults.
Sir Dominance drops. Whirlwind answers it out, though. Dome Shield, Ehrenmanner.
The Venn diagram of doom there.
That's right. They're using everything to try to break this corner. No kills just yet. They've weathered the storm, though. Op in the backside. So low here. Quick's faded, drops the Ice Storm, drops off Storm Avatar. Double kill for him. Good lad is able to trade out as King Nick rounds this next corner, has the Enlightenment ready to go. Could find a pick here.
You're gonna
Skeppy
eat it.
is going to be it. Oh, nice turn shot there as Skeppy goes down. 50% is refunded onto that cooldown. A minute remaining. Payload now continuing to move forward here. Flashpoint backs against the wall. You got a minute left to avoid going out of this set.
A delightful 180 indeed. My boys on Ehrenmanner playing with a high enough sensitivity to function. 3 people on this Ashe. Yes, they get the kill, but look at the payload, man.
Yep.
It marched all the way to the finish line, basically. They gave up a lot of crucial distance on that payload cap. I don't know if that's going to be worth it for them in the long run. 30 seconds on the clock. As long as Ehrenmanner don't fall apart, I think they'll have a good shot at this.
It's a 1-for-1 trade right now. Legacy very, very low. iTech is
Nice
able
peel.
to get out alive. Shield maybe just blocking the last few of those shots. Good lad, though. Draws the line in the sand. Prevents King Nick from moving any further forward. 15 seconds remaining. One last fight from Ehrenmanner will do it. Alternatively, one last fight from Flashpoint. Push this one to another mid fight. But that's something Ehrenmanner have controlled heavily in this game. Maybe just charge up their ultimates. Contesting. Overtime will begin from behind the wall there. Bowling ball resets, gets a little bit of shielding in for him. It's not enough to keep him alive under the duress of Op. Skeppy looking to find a way to get involved in this final fight here. They're through time and space ready. It's a 1-for-0 so far. The respawns are there. Legacy drops off the healer. Ernest and Quick's faded, though. They're still alive. They might get an overtime touch. It's all for naught. Flashpoint with their first point of the map, first point of the set. Ehrenmanner have controlled these mids, though.
And if not for that defense, this would have not only been a sweep, but a scoreless set. It might still be an offenseless set for a Flashpoint here, certainly on the back foot in a lot of ways. Ash almost top damage, so Ernest playing a big role, still has his ultimate. Everybody, you know, playing around Grover, so they're very likely to be corralled. I think we saw a triple stun last time. Out of that, assert dominance. If he can get anything even close to what he got last round for his guys, this is going to be an easy fight for them.
The slash line's looking good for Ehrenmanner. Items starting to come online. Triple caught for 4 members of Ehrenmanner here. Got a couple wreckers as well. Only triple caught for Legacy and Op for Flashpoint. Could be the final fight of this game, starting to break out. Flashpoint looking for a similar strategy to what they've found previously. Ernest goes into the fidget spinner. Storm Avatar finds that kill. Good lad has the Sentinels out and firing away, looking to find the kill here. They do have fast cap on their side. So that 1 kill advantage is all they need here. Skeppy locked down by the Ice Storm. One more shot from Quick's Faded will do it.
Nice
the wall goes up to block the shot. Reads that one perfectly. Last shot for Quick's Faded, not connecting, but King Nick does just that. Seismic Crash rips through, only stuns up Ernest on the opposite side. Dome Shield drops down onto the point as well. Through time and space finds nothing, but Ehrenmanner, they're in control of the mid.
There it is, and Lightman's going to try to rip to the back line. It won't connect with Grover, but it does force him immediately into the Ice Staff. Unmissable shot there from Quicks, as Ehrenmanner are back on the objective, and they have cleaned up this fight in a pretty staggered fashion as well. You can see the front line is about 9 seconds behind the healer, which is going to equate to a lot of that capture percentage.
Yeah, they got to get in. They got to get a touch. They're so staggered out, I'm not sure they're going to have time to do it. 93, 96, King Nick gets the kill. 99, it goes.
Okay.
4-1 for Ehrenmanner. 3-0 on the set. And only 1 defensive point total for Flashpoint here today.
That's
I mean,
it.
obviously, you know, some stuff happening on the backside with that team. But top to bottom, you look at that Flashpoint roster, that's still a list of names that we know very well here in the console league.
That's a lot to take away from Ehrenmanner. I think
I agree.
They still performed well on the day, man. Not ideal situation for Flashpoint, but to go from being the dominant undefeated team in the league to almost scoreless against Ehrenmanner is it's definitely a storyline here. Ehrenmanner, even with that Eevee, man, 99K, I liked what I saw. This character, like I said, I mean, all I was looking for him to do is, you know, shut Skeppy down, keep him busy the entire time. If he could have done that, I would have called it a win. But he did that and so much more.
Yeah.
On top of the fact that nobody plays this character on console. You're not used to it. You're so under pressured. This is such a good map for it as well. Quicks can really do a lot with a serviceable Eevee, but a truly great performance from him today as well.
13-5 and 14, 13-4 and 11 for King Nick. A couple good games out of him. Ernest, I think, played a very good off-tank here today, but the character we were pointing out, of course, Eevee in this one, you mentioned just trying to keep Skeppy busy. I think he did that and then some in this one.
Playing with the sensitivity high enough, too, that sometimes you see people try to force Eevee on console. If you can't do it, you can't do it. You need to be able to kind of whip around and not hit all of these shots, but going through the motions in the right way. You know what I mean? Just these little flicks, the up-down with the wormhole, being able to get quick 180s off of your soars. All of this was good stuff from Quicks. Really, overall, probably one of the more, if not, I can't think of anyone off the top of my head that I would call a more impressive Eevee player.
Yeah, I'm not sure any names jump out to me either. I agree with your statement, though. I mean, you really have to, I think, hand this one to Ehrenmanner. I mean, as much as you can talk about what's happening with Flashpoint, I mean, that's a dominant performance from Ehrenmanner. And I brought up, I mean, that's a lineup still for Flashpoint that are recognizable names. You know all of them. And Ehrenmanner playing lights out. It's a new look at this team. They now take out the #1 seed. We'll have to see standings-wise at the end of the day how that plays out. But hats off to Ehrenmanner. First set of the day, 3-0. A big upset here. Set 2 right after this.
SteelSeries, the official peripheral provider of the Paladins console league.